Hey, what's going on, guys? Listen, I got a two-part video for y'all today. Okay, first part of this video is going to be about your narcissist wanting to cheat in peace. Okay, second part of it, I'm gonna go into how the narcissist breaks you down, breaks your self-esteem down. Okay, so being at peace, cheating and having peace while they're doing it. Well, first thing is you're dealing with a narcissist. You already know that they definitely want to cheat. You know, that's one of their main things. And they cheat most of the time because that's how they gain new supply and keep supply going. They're going to keep supply going with that. You know, sometimes a sexual relationship is what keeps, someone around when they can't give them everything that they want. They can't live with them, and they're promising these people all kinds of things. Okay. So if you think that the narc is out there, and somebody's begging and pleading with them to do this and do that and do that, it's not like you think. Okay. Your narc, the narc you're dealing with, yes, they are in somebody else's face, begging, pleading. They are doing the most. Okay, they are doing the most to get that attention. Okay, they crave the attention. They live for the attention. They love the attention. They can't live without that attention. So that's one of the reasons why they will beg. They will beg. Don't think for 1 second they're not begging the new supply. Okay, trust and believe they're begging. They made this big illusion for you that they're above all of those things and they just love, and that people just won't leave them alone. I can guarantee you that the narc you dealt with, the same way they will beg you, they're begging other people, and they're begging for that attention. They're begging that the person doesn't cut them off, the same way they beg you to get back with you. So if you're dealing with a beggar, please understand that's their position. They are beggars. They beg everybody. They plead with everybody. And everything that they claim that they will not do, everything, they are doing it. They are doing all of it. They want to cheat in peace. Okay, they want to cheat and they don't want you to catch them. And they don't want you to catch them because they don't want to have to explain to you, that they're cheating and you caught them cheating and, and now because they don't have that other supply together. Even though they have other supplies out there, remember those secondary supplies are not as fulfilling. Okay, those secondary supplies and third level supplies, those are just people that admire them, that give them high praise as well. You know what I'm saying? Okay, a tier 3 supply, that's going to be somebody that the narcissist, that likes the narcissist and they're telling the narcissist all of these wonderful things about themselves. But the narcissist really isn't interested in that person, but it's supply. A tier 2 supply, that's somebody where they're dealing with somebody who's possibly in a relationship, in a marriage, or something that, they're with somebody else, and they're not necessarily going to, the narcissist knows that they're not going to be with them, the way they would like to maybe. But the narc will try to promote tier 2 supplies to a tier 1 supply, because a narc always wants to pull someone from their relationship. If they can break up somebody else's home while in the process of tearing their own home apart, that's a win-win for a narcissist. That's a lot of supply because it makes them think that, wow, I'm such an incredible person. This person destroyed their home just to be with me. And I destroyed my home just to be with them. And yeah, they're going to destroy that relationship as well. But it makes the narc feel, it gives them all kinds of supply, knowing they were able to just tear somebody else's situation apart, knowing that they were able to take someone from someone. That is big to them. That is very big to them. So, and then when you look at the tier 1 supply, the grade A level supply, the grade A level supply, see, that's somebody who is, on a level where the narc feels like, okay, this person may have their stuff together enough that I will totally, again, just like a level 2, I will leave my partner for this person. Being a 1 level supply, it doesn't mean you're rich or you're famous or beautiful or handsome, whatever. It simply means that person admires the narcissist enough. Okay? They admire them enough to sing them praise. And the narcissist will do anything for praise and admiration. But it also, to be a number 1, it means that the narcissist actually praises that person as well. See, that's the main difference. The level 1 supply, that means that the narc you're dealing with or had been dealing with, it means that they look at the other person and they give them praise. They will beg that person. They will plead with that person to leave their spouse. You should leave them and come with me and we'll get together and we will be so happy together. And they're singing that kind of song. And trust and believe, they will break down to a place where they're talking about, please, you should do this. We should do this. We should be together. I'd do anything to be with you. I'm talking about they will cry. They will show those crocodile tears. They will do everything in the book, people. They will do it. They will do anything. They will do everything just because they want that tier 1, that level A supply. Okay. So, and I'm saying that to you guys because I want you to know that, oftentimes, we think that the narcissist, they're leaving or they're going to somebody else because somebody else has so much influence. Somebody just telling them something so incredible. And no, it's not about what they're telling that person. Trust and believe, the narc is doing a whole lot of gaslighting with that person as well. They're gaslighting that person. They're telling that person how incredible they are and how beautiful or how handsome they are. They're telling that other supply they would do anything for them, for a man like that one or a woman like them. They would do anything. They're telling that new supply anything that they got. They're saying anything they have to say to secure that position. Absolutely. I'm saying this to tell you guys, because like I said, a lot of times we think that a narcissist is just somebody that, they're just somebody that's going to tell the other supply, or the other supply is telling them all of these great things about themselves. Yeah. When it's a tier 1, that's somebody who's telling the narc, the same lies that they are telling them. That's tier 1. Tier 2 is, like I said, that's somebody who is in a relationship with somebody else and they're trying to pull them away from that. Tier 3 supply and lower, that's just people that they have that admire them. Okay, they don't necessarily admire the tier threes, but they will allow the attention because, it's kind of like their fan club on their social media. That's like a tier three. The ones who do all of the extra, the hard eyes, the kisses, and all of that type of stuff for them. That's their tier three. If they don't, if that's tier three, if they don't acknowledge them back. Now, if they acknowledge them back, they love the comments, they like the comments. See, that's their communication. That's their communication. That moves them up from the tier three. See, when they're communicating back, that's not a tier three anymore. Now, if they don't acknowledge those people that do that, if they don't even like the comment, love the comment or anything, that's somebody that's a tier three or lower. They're just like, hey, you like me, and that's what it is. Better than a tier three, that means, hey, I like you back. I appreciate that. But, like I said, the narcissist just wants the supply. They want the supply. And then on the flip side of this, another thing that I wanted to talk about in this video was I wanted to talk about how the narcissist is able to create so much doubt with you, so much self-doubt. And they do it in a way that is so cunning that a lot of times you don't even see it. You're thinking when you and the narcissist, because you're always having debates. You're thinking that when you guys have a debate, you're thinking that you're debating the truth. You're trying to convince them to just admit the truth. Well, the narcissist knows that. But see, what you don't realize is that subconsciously, by them not admitting that you're right, it's subconsciously breaking you down. It's breaking you down, your self-confidence, because you cannot convince this person just to admit the truth. The obvious truth. Just admit the obvious truth. And they're not going to do it. And they're not going to do it because they know this is something that breaks you down. It breaks you down mentally when that narcissist doesn't just give you that free answer. When they challenge the answer that you have. It could be something as simple as, my jacket is green. And they'll say something like, wow, that jacket is shiny. Is that a military jacket? And you're like, no, it's not. Just a regular little jacket. Oh, it looks like a military jacket. It's that color. You know how the military has that light green and tan? And all of that's just being done to make you think, to question what you're saying. You're like, no, this is dark green. This isn't really like that military color. No, it is like the military color. Now you guys are going back and forth. And I'm just using that as an example. That's all they want you to do is question what you see. You see it with your eyes, and now you're questioning it. It doesn't have to be a big difference. All it has to be is different than what you initially thought about it as being. That is how narcissists confuse you. That's how they break you down. And that's why you find yourself trying to have long, drawn-out conversations with them. And you're just like, well, you're trying to always find yourself trying to prove a point to a narcissist. Because the narcissist will never agree with anything you say. They're never going to completely agree with you. And the reason for that is because that's how they subliminally break you down. That's how they knock you off your square. That's how they make you see they're taking your self-confidence away. You start out, you're confident that, no, this jacket is green. It's army green. Okay, they both green. That's because they had the last word. You know, it's not an army green. It's all about creating a different reality for you to the narcissist. That's it. As long as they can create a different reality than the one you know or see to be true, then they've won. They have won. And you are sitting back and you're thinking to yourself how, like, wow, man, they crazy, they tripping. Yeah. And they'll leave it alone. And you're still trying to make comments and you're trying to back yourself up, your statement up, because you're thinking, nah, they're trying to just get the last word, and you know that they're manipulating. And that is how they break you down. And they're just doing it little bit by little bit in ways where you're not even thinking, you know, like it's always something. It's not that it doesn't even have to be a big argument or a big disagreement. It's just a disagreement from your reality. As long as they can get you to question your reality, and as long as they can change it, it doesn't matter how much they change it. Okay? As long as they change it. My jacket is green. Yeah, that's army green. It's a change. It's just that simple. And now you're all in trying to feel like, what? You didn't even thinking about it. They're changing your reality. And that's what it's all about. Listen, guys, that's my video. I want you guys who are not subscribers, I want you to hit that subscribe button right there. Okay? I have a Facebook group. It's called Narcissism 101, the Empath Tribe. Narcissist 101, the Empath Tribe. Also, follow me on Instagram. Both of those, my Facebook and my Instagram, are on my homepage on the YouTube channel. I got some new videos coming up I'm working on for you guys. I'm on TikTok. Soon to be on a podcast. I'm just downloading my stuff to the podcast. You will be able to listen to me in your car on iTunes. Okay, very, very soon. All right. Any of you guys who absolutely need to see me for some one-on-one coaching, you need to go to my Facebook or my Instagram Messenger. Okay, leave me a message. I'll send you my calendar. Okay. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you. I want you to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Leave your comments in the comments section. I love the comments, love the content. You guys are incredible helps with that. All right, thanks, and I'll see you on the next video.